Hey folks, BlackCross here, and welcome to a Halloween special video. Can't believe I'm doing this now. Okay, so here's something that you probably didn't know. I don't celebrate Halloween that much. The only far that I go in terms of Halloween is this far. That's as far as I'm willing to go. Watching special movies, watching old classic monster movie stuff, things of that nature. But to a degree though, there are some things that I feel like doing. For example, because of it being Halloween, I figure I do a special video in regards to Halloween. This one's no different. So, if you want to watch last year's Halloween video that I did, I'll be sure to leave it in the description box for you guys to look up later on. But today I wanted to go ahead and talk about stuff that scared me as a child, and growing up for that matter. These aren't really like top 10 things or stuff like that. These are just things that scared me as I was growing up. So you can imagine that I was fairly terrified. And as we go through the list, you'll realize why. So let's first start off with Disney. Yes, weird, I know, right? Disney, why would it have scary elements and stuff? There's no way it could possibly have anything like that. On the contrary, it has plenty of scary stuff to do. There are a lot of scary things that it has when it comes to their elements and stuff. There are potential movies that I can easily pull out and show you. For example, there's frickin' Nightmare on Bowler Mountain. You have the frickin' Heffalump and Woozle scene. You have the flippin' pink elephants. These are things that people have talked about for years, and those definitely did scare me as a child, I'm not going to argue. But looking back at them now, I don't see them as terrifying anymore. I see them as like, artistically clever. And even for scenes like Snow White in the early days, you gotta remember, they never had computer animation at all, so to have the fine detail art of animating like that is pretty well done. But Disney does have this one tiny thing that I am verily terrified. Are you ready? Because I don't think you are. The Grim Grinning Ghost. Not the ride, but the music. Now, what do I mean by the music? Well, Grim Grinning Ghost, if you don't know, is actually a song that can be heard while being in the ride known as the Haunted Mansion. If you want to look up information in regards to the Haunted Mansion has a little boat ton of history that goes behind it, to a point to where it was one of the major rides that Walt Disney wanted to see, but unfortunately he could not because of his passing. It was literally one of the rides that got finished shortly after his passing. And it took numerous of tries, numerous of times, just to get it off the ground. It was ridiculous. And it has a very nice, interesting story, too. Makes it all the more reason why I would actually want to go into it and look at the ride, you know? It's just, growing up, I realized that the Haunted Mansion has a history on its own. And I don't think it's ever going to be got rid of just because of that. That, and also the fact that Nightmare Before Christmas comes out during the Halloween and the Christmas month. So, for anyone who gets a chance to see that, you are one of the very many people, like myself, who wants to go see it desperately badly, just to see what's all different every year. The Gingerbread Man building itself is different all the time, every year. You have the fact that the 25 days of Christmas is always different every year. And it's something that I personally would like to have close by, but I don't have that luxury. The closest place that I have for Disneyland is literally in Florida. But that being said, if any of you know the sing-along VHS Disney tapes that they have had for years ago, you probably know this particular scene.
When the crypt doors creak and the tombstones quake, spooks come out for a swing and wake.
This particular scene is what haunts me, even to this day. Now, the scary part isn't so much the actual, Disney characters themselves. That doesn't scare me at all. It's actually both the song and the trees. Seriously, the way these trees look, they look so horrifying. you could have sworn that they would just like grab you from the screen and pull you in with them. They are that terrifying. And I tried watching one whenever a guy by the name of Disney Dan posted it on his YouTube channel and everything like that. And after watching it, I realized I couldn't get to sleep. That's how terrifying it is to this day. Still scares the living shit out of me. Never mind the fact that the song Grim Grinning Ghost is still terrifying to this day. The song, if you ever wanted to get yourself scared shitless, listen to the very beginning parts of Grim Grinning Ghost. The beginning parts. They start off very grim. So, yeah, that's pretty terrifying. The next thing to talk about is actually involving Looney Tunes. How weird is that we jump from Disney to Warner Brothers, Mickey Mouse to Bugs Bunny? How weird is that? Not really that weird. No, it's not. Warner Brothers actually does have its fair share of scary stuff. They do. But it's mostly within their Looney Tunes licenses that do scare me itself. There are two particular cartoons that I have trouble watching by myself. And I say by myself because as soon as you see and hear these things, you're not going to be able to look at them ever again. I guarantee you won't be. Try watching them in a dark room and then come back to me and tell me how you feel. Guarantee you'll be like, no thank you, ever again. Never want to experience that again. So, how many are familiar with... Yeah, Mr. Hyde. The scariest guy next to the Boogeyman, next to the Grim Reaper, and all these other scary stuff. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Probably one of the most well-known of the Halloween characters in history. But Looney Tunes does a few little jokes in regards to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There are two cartoons. One of them involving Bugs Bunny, the other one involving Sylvester and Tweety. So, I'm going to try to post the names on screen right now, because I can't remember their names right now, of the actual cartoon shorts. But, if you'll look at these particular scenes, the first one being Bugs Bunny, you can actually understand where my fear comes in to watching these things. It's bad enough that the transformations themselves are horrifying, it's bad enough when this happens. Yeah, it's pretty horrifying. It's they only do it like 3 times in the entire thing, and it's pretty horrifying to watch, and it's hard to kind of watch it because of how gruesomely he looks. But that's nothing compared to the Sylvester and Tweety short. Now, I want you to remember Tweety Bird. Cute little Tweety Bide. Yeah, the cute little guy. He's so wonderful. Now watch this and come to me and tell me what you think of him now.
You bad old putty top.
Have you shit yourself yet? No? Watch this then.
Well, I guess I'll just have to eat you without it.
Yeah, that's your nightmare fuel for the night. I'm gonna tell you right now, when it comes to the Dr. Jekyll stuff, those things terrified me. And anytime I saw anything involving any scene that made my brain alert, panic attack, I literally had to turn off the TV or change channels because I could not watch them. They were that terrifying to me. And admittedly, yeah, they're not as terrifying now, but believe me when I say this, if you ever first watched them in a dark room, yeah, you never want to do that again. Now, on a lighter, different subject, let's go into video games. Yeah, because we love playing video games, don't we? I will go for the most obvious jokes if I have to right now, guys. Yes, I've had a lot of scary things that I've had in video games. Some of them I am proud to admit that I'm scared because a lot of people have come out and said that they also are scared of these things as well. And I'm not gonna lie, whenever I first look at like horror survivor games, I never want to get near them. So to play some of them even now terrifies me to no end. But admittedly now it's not so bad. But for a long time, I've really felt like there was only one direction that horror survivor games could go to, and that was the zombie apocalypse style of gaming, where you have your gun and you're shooting at zombies and stuff. and this is most common from Resident Evil. But that's just one minor thing. We're talking about some of the stuff that really terrifies me. Sayings that literally make me go, F this, I'm done. It's hard to believe it, yeah, there are games that literally make me say, I'm done with this game. One of them being Dead Space 2. Dead Space 1, if you have not played it, basically plays out as a space horror survivor game. Basically, you go through this ship that basically has remained vacant due to some unfortunate event that's happened to the crew. And as you continue going through the game, through the ship and everything like that, you find out things didn't really go the way they should have. And in fact, a lot of different stuff happens, and it's all horrifyingly scary. I would recommend trying to look up a video exactly how terrifying it can get. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is towards the end. Towards the end, you realize that the majority of the stuff that he is seeing is mostly in his head. He is that messed up. And that's because he's been hanging around with the marker. The longer he hangs out with the marker, the longer he sees things. Markings on the wall. More grossly grotesque monster that appears out of nowhere. Seeing his dead girlfriend, for that matter. So, it's no surprise that in the second one, it would magnify that to an extensive level. How so? Watch this. And that's just the tipping of the berg right there. That's just tipping off of the iceberg. We haven't even gotten to the deep meat of it all. Here's the thing. I've only played halfway through a Dead Space 2. And I literally had to stop. Why? Because I was getting some of the most fucked up nightmares you'll ever imagine. Imagine walking through like a sidewalk or something like that. And you see a crocodile head style monster with little feet. And he turns and he sees you. All of a sudden, he transforms into the giant claw monster Bat. Yeah, that's horrifying. Now, imagine running from that thing for your life, turn the corner, and you see that there are thousands of these things, picking people off, ripping them in half and stuff. We're talking about some serious shit here. I literally had to quit cold turkey in that game. That terrified me to no end. Every little turn I make almost made me have a heart attack. Seriously, if you thought Fatal Frame was scary, this game will make you shit yourself. I kid you not. It will make you shit yourself. It's a horror survival. You have things that will literally try everything it can to tear you into ribbons. You have some of the most grotesque styles of death in a game, the most gruesome. One of them being that you have what looks like a needle or a screwdriver aiming right for your eyeball, and if you even make one false move, right through your head. That's horrifying, bud. Very horrifying. I kid you not when I say this shit. This game terrified me, and I only went halfway through in the game, and I decided I was done with it, okay? I was. But admittedly, that wasn't like the major thing that made me quit cold turkey. What really made me stop entirely was there was a particular enemy in the game. And basically, it's this crawling, infant-looking necromorph that has like a glowing thing on his back. And this woman was picking it up. Next thing you know, it blew up and the whole entire thing was covered in blood. I kid you not, that was terrifying shit. Enough to make me literally never have children. That's sad. Seriously, that's sad when you think about it. Anything that involves toddlers, infants in some grotesque way is enough to literally terrify me to no end. Another scene in particular was that of Dante's Inferno. Trust me when I say this, the game may not be that good in terms of gameplay, but in terms of art style and direction, they hit a home run, alright. They hit a home run. And you want to feel like you're in hell? Play this game. And you'll go through all 7 levels of hell. And I think there's a secret 8th and 9th one, which is shit yourself in the pants and completely desiccate yourself. That's literally the term. That's how terrifying those screeches and horror are. But it's the screams and horror that isn't terrifying, no. It's the beginning parts of the game. Before you go into the main hell process itself, you encounter several rooms that involve the introduction of the unbaptized children. These things are the most terrifying things I will ever see in any video game. These poor unfortunate souls are the most terrifying I have ever seen. You wanna know what's worse? They use actual infants to film this stuff. They use an actual child to do the walking animations of a child, and then did the rest of the work in the most grotesque way you could possibly imagine. This is horrifying shit here we're talking about. I know you guys probably want to hear more of me literally being terrified of the images that I'm thinking in my head. The worst part about it is, I have to look up this stuff and actually put them in the video. Yeah, I actually have to go through it again and be reminded of how terrifying these things are. Literally. I'm not going to be sleeping for another 5 years probably. So yeah, I'm just going to be just never going to sleep ever again. Anyway guys, that was just a little video I wanted to do for Halloween. I figured you guys would enjoy what scared me the most as a child, and even growing up to this day. And I'm pretty sure the majority of the stuff that I've seen still terrifies me, pretty much. So, thank you so much guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If there is anything that you are desperately terrified of, if you want to label them, please label them in the comments below. Because believe me when I say this, there's a lot of stuff that terrifies me. And I guarantee you I will find a lot more in the future. Until then guys, this is BlackCross signing off, wishing you a safe and wonderful happy Halloween, and I shall see you in the next video. This is BlackCross signing off. Catch you later guys.
Ha 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 ha!